don't know why. I always be worried.
The star.
Yeah, y'all already know. Seven the pan. That dude Biz on the beat. Yeah. We live in entertainment. Sound change. Crown the kings, homie. This is where it get ill. About to have the tip off live as a tip drill. From the court to the diamond, to the track, to the big skin, flying round the field, starting five forever, keeping it real. If it matters in the world of sports, jeans and long sleeves, they taking no shorts. Hot the death, oh yes, these other sports podcasts live as a pro's corpse. Biz market wave, the starting five goes off. No matter who you cheer for, emotions out the window, they analyze it with clear thoughts. They take it way deeper than the force ever. No longer got any use for the four letters. The latest news, score stats and the view from the sideline. Ain't no guideline, it's just the truth. Yeah, no need to dig for a pardon line. It's always in season if people start five. We going in on three, run the baseline, start five. Get it, we got what you need. If the sports news you see, we don't waste time. We talking cause we live it. We got what you need. We going in on three, run the baseline, start five. Get it, we got what you need. And y'all know me, seven sign, I'm the illest cat stick. I got what you need.
I know that was fucked up of me, but if y'all haven't noticed, if you play the episodes back, I've been catching some of our pre-show conversation right at the intro, just because it's been kind of funny. It's been kind of funny. But anyway, it's your boy. You know it is, the man. That DJ name H5, your mom's favorite fat guy from deepest, darkest Africa. I'll explain why I'm chilling like this in a minute. As always, you know what to do. Go to the box by the man who loves the box. Hooksrub.com, 20% off your order using the code STARTING5. What up?
I'm here. Had a good week. Had a good time at Six Flags. I went to Six Flags yesterday with the family. Great adventure. Had a good time up in there. Got free tickets to come back because I paid for Fright Fest tickets and they said they wasn't doing Fright Fest. And so they gave us refund, like free tickets to come back, but they actually still did Fright Fest anyway. So lucky me, right? So I'm feeling good today. TJ, what's up?
What up? Back from vacation and a work trip. A couple more weeks, I'll be back out on the road again. Napa was dope. Black Music Festival, Blue Note Jazz Festival was fire. Shout out to my man Ed Cheese. I went out there with him. Went to New Orleans for a work trip. Was out there a whole week. Yes, I got stuck in the hotel during the hurricane. That was pretty wild. Fortunately for us, we didn't lose any power or anything like that. And it was my first time in New Orleans, so I just want to say the food was fucking amazing. Like, everything was amazing. The po' boys, the gumbo, the jambalaya, the catfish, the shrimp and grits, the blackened chicken. Like, everything was phenomenal out there. Oysters, char-grilled oysters, just insane. I've never had such good food like that in a long time. So that's definitely one of my repeat destinations from here on out. Just to go down for a weekend and get fat. I see why Zion couldn't lose the weight. Shit is real out there. It's really real out there. Like,
Word.
It's hard. It's hard. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna knock him though. I'm not gonna talk shit about Zion and food no more. Because it's hard. But besides that, it's a good day, dope weekend.
The food down there definitely is dope. The only thing that killed me about it when we went down there like a few years back for our anniversary, the fucking humidity, yo. Crazy.
Crazy. It's like living in like Vietnam or some shit like that, where it's just wet hot all the time. It's the Mississippi River, dogs. Is right there. It's literally right there. You can't escape it. And it's just that's why when we went to all these restaurants and bars in the hotel, shit was brick inside. Like 32 degrees brick. Like people wearing sweaters, hats. It has to be that way because it's so hot outside. AC was cranked everywhere we went.
Word, word. That's a trip I gotta go back. I want to go back down there. Uh, but that city is cool. The city is cool. But the question I have for you though, like, yo, did you recognize and notice like how huge like the homeless population is out there?
Bro, I'm going to say this. That's every southern or western state I've ever been to. Cali, homelessness is ridiculous out there. Um, Florida, Texas, all the southern states where it's hot mostly 85 to 90% of the year. Yeah, that's where they're going to be at because it's easier to be outside. I mean, it didn't bother me because we got quite a bit of homelessness ourselves here in NY. So we just don't see them that much when it comes to the wintertime because they're indoors at shelters and shit like that. But that shit is prevalent everywhere. Like it's out there. Go ahead.
You know what I found to be like crazy to me is like when I travel and I see the homeless situation, like in Philly, yeah, I know it's a lot of homeless people, but it's kind of like certain areas. It's spread out. You can go here and they might be packed, but you go to certain
Right.
other
It's
areas,
New
you
York the
might see
same
one or
way.
two. It's
Yeah.
kind of spread out.
Yeah, New York is
When
the
I go
same
to
way.
those other places, it's like they're packed. It's like they're packed everywhere. It's like it's like they're not sporadic. It's like they are grouped up everywhere you go. And that's what I'll be shocked by. I'll be like, why is it 25 homeless people in this one area?
Bro, the first time I went to San
So
Diego,
that's what be getting me is that they all seem
the
to
fir-
like group together when I go a place where they're kind of spread out here. So it seems
the
more
f-
crazy to me, like when I see them like in other places.
what was crazy to me is the first time I went to San Diego, they had tents pitched on the lawn of City Hall. I was like, yo, where they do that at? Because that shit don't happen nowhere. Like it was like bad. I was like, yo, this is nuts. I was like, what is that? They was like, that's the homeless people. I was like, they just let them post up in City Hall like that? It was like, Cali's different.
Yeah, I asked the question because when I went down there, like, I mean, not and I don't try to say this in a disrespectful way, but like, especially in the downtown area, you know, the tourist area, they were everywhere. But one, like, I was kind of ear hustling a conversation. We was down there by one of them piers down there. I think it was near the Cafe Du Monde, the original, and the one we talked about pre-show,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And this guy was talking to these two Asian girls, and they were had, just nice conversation. And then they asked him that how did he get there, or why was he homeless? And he said, "Yo, I like being homeless because I could get up and move when I want, where I want, live wherever I feel like living." Like he's like, I lived in California, Washington, Oregon, New York, like, and now I'm here, and I love it here. And that was like, it was an interesting perspective to hear. Like the person did it because it's a level of freedom that us who, like, we live in houses, we live in apartments, whatever the case may be, we got jobs, we live the regular rat race. But it was a different perspective of freedom that, like, I'd never thought of it in that way.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't. That ain't on the top of my list of moving the way I want
Oh
to move
no.
anytime I want, where I want to
No,
go,
big facts.
and
Like
do
I
what
ain't,
I
I ain't
want
trying
to
to
do.
live like that.
That is crazy the way they look at that shit. But I guess if he got a little bread in his pocket or he's collecting bread somehow, then that'd be all right. You know what I'm saying? But that's why. Why don't you just Why don't you just buy a camper, dogs, and just pay for gas and just run around the country like that? I mean, you don't have to be homeless to do some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You can take odd jobs wherever you land at and shit like that. Drive an Uber or some shit. Your Uber is the camper. I don't know fucking want to know what you want to do, but that's crazy.
No, true, but like I said, but just I actually it just opened my mind though, like because like I said, it's though it ain't it's not a way that any of us would want to live, but to be able to find peace in it and say that this is like a level of freedom for you, like it was interesting. It was I've never heard Tyrone. I don't know if you've ever heard anybody like go ahead, TJ.
You think if healthcare was free in this country, more people would do that?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what you really got to take. You got to take care of yourself. So if the healthcare is free, what do you need to pay rent, car note, gas, whatever? You could just move freely how you want, and if something happens, you can just always go to the hospital. At least you get a meal and get taken care of while you're in there. You know what I'm saying? Like that's I don't know. That's just a different perspective on it right there.
Yeah, Tyrone, I was asking, like, have you ever thought of that shit like that? Like, it's freedom because I see it. Like, I see it. I see it. That untethered off the grid ability to just get up and go.
Yeah, but it's also freedom to have your own home too. It's like I don't have to worry about where I'm going to wash up. I don't have to worry about if I want to see something on TV. I don't have to worry. Like living in a home actually gives you things that's free too. Like you things that you don't have to worry about. I don't have to worry about like certain things that living in a home gives me freedom. Where being homeless, you got things that you have to worry about. So you're not free. You take a shit when you want to take a shit. You know what I'm saying? Something as simple as going to the
That
bathroom
and
requires a little bit of movement.
like you said, security. Like you don't have to worry about bugs. You don't have to worry about like insects. You don't have to worry about somebody trying to rob you while you're sleeping on the street. You know, people trying to jump you because they don't like the homeless. Like there's a sense of security there that you just don't get when you out on the streets. Like you always got to look out for yourself, which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm again, I ain't ever living like that. I just still to this, you know what I'm just saying? I just still
Yeah,
to this day, I just perspective wise, like to make yourself feel good about your situation. Like it felt eye opening. It felt mind opening. But like I said, like I am not trying to achieve that ever. I'm not ever trying to achieve that ever. But why everybody always got to start working when we start recording, man? You got fucking Bob the Builder's workshop going on behind you, and funny enough, it sounds like somebody cutting wood. I live next to a damn wood shop, but the guy is outside cutting the grass across the street. Like whatever, what it is, what it is.
yeah. I got some tree cutters in the neighborhood today. I don't know what's going on.
It is what it is, man. But we got some shit to talk about. Uh, a lot of people upset. That's why I named the show. What the fuck is going on here? Because you got Trump thinking he won the debate. People are mad because Kendrick Lamar got the halftime show. And then we got to have a conversation about Tua. But let's get the debate shit out of the way. Did y'all watch the debate?
I watched a good portion of it. Yeah,
I didn't watch the debate. I don't know. I'm uninterested. I'm uninterested. I don't want to hear nothing Trump's got to say. And I feel like the debates are not debates anymore. I feel like the debates is just basically you let Trump say some dumb shit and then you debunk it and then we move on. So for me, I'm not getting nothing from these debates. I'm not getting nothing from them. I'm not getting what the plan is for the future, nothing. I'm getting Trump saying dumb shit and she's debunking it and she's making them look stupid. And that's so I was totally out, zoned out, uninterested in the whole situation.
And that's why I watched it, because it was pure entertainment. Like it literally was it because I was watching it, and then everybody's like live reacting, chatting in the Discord and shit. So that made it fun talking about it with other people in real time. But it was like I didn't. The only thing I got out of it was, wow, finally, Donald Trump got fact checked in real time by the moderators. You know what I'm saying? And when you go back and the aftermath, they said over 20 plus different lies in that debate. Kamala said like one or two. But people feel like, oh, she didn't get fact checked in real time because she actually stated more fact than fiction. And that was the real problem for the right. But TJ, what'd you take from it?
Well, anytime she called him weak or a coward, your man was visibly flustered as soon as she said it. Like he really did like he felt like he could just walk over there and just smack the shit out of her. That's how it moved him. He was just like, uh. And he always had to get the last word in. Like he could never let it go to get to the next question. He would start talking, his mic was off. They were trying to like shut him down, like, yo, we need to move on. You didn't answer this question. You gave us something else, but we need to move on to the next one. They're making a big deal because the chick on the panel was a sorority sister. Like, you know how many women are in that sorority? Come on, dogs. That's just, they said there was a lot of favoritism. These people now are truly legit crazy because when your man said they're eating dogs and cats, bro, on live television, and then you got people out here trying to pull up like, oh, it's real police reports. They got AI photos of people carrying dogs and stuff like that. Like, if this was really a thing, don't you think we would have heard about it before the debate even happened? Like,
Dude,
people eating people's pets. White people don't play that with their pets, especially their dogs, bro. If there were people eating these people's dogs, the shit be an uproar. Motherfuckers would be getting shot on sight.
dude, it actually, the story actually did come out before the debate. That's why he came up on stage and lied about it. But once again, one of the fact checking points, there was a person who did eat a cat in Ohio. It wasn't in Springfield, and the woman wasn't Haitian. So they utilized this for another racist like attack on Haitian people because the Haitian population has become very, very heavy in the Springfield, Ohio area. And so people are questioning, oh, resources for the city and stuff like that are being diminished. But then I didn't see it yet, but shouts out to the Young Turks Network. They covered this story before and after the debate. PBS did a special about Springfield, Ohio, because of the Haitian immigrant population going there. And so they were, people were trying to spread mistruths about them, but a lot of employers, especially factory jobs, are happy. Like one guy said, yeah, I'll take many more of them as employees. They come to work, they stay at their stations to do what they need to do. They're not coming in like drug addicts, people who call out and yada yada yada. Like they're getting honest employees. And then they're saying that it's an immigrant problem, like, oh, they're just letting any old person, any old criminal in. No, these people are actually going there legally because of I forgot what the asylum seeking like clause that's within our government, but because they were trying to evade criminal activity against them, gang threats, things like that. Because if you know what's going on in Haiti just a little bit,
Bro, it's
shit's
wild up
wild
there.
down there.
It's wild up there. 60 Minutes did a real thing on that, and it's some warlord shit down there. Like,
Son, the name of the brother who's freaking controlling shit right now, the gang leader's name is Barbecue. So shit's really going wild down there in Haiti, for
yeah,
real. But
for real,
and
for
so
real.
these people, again, America, this same land of give us you're tired, you're hungry, you're homeless, you're weak, and yada yada yada, right? Because it's now, you know, ethnically white populated and whatever, whatever. They're easily forgetting the fact that their ancestors came and raped and pillaged and ransacked and stole and then created this. So I think it's because they know the blueprint. They're afraid of the same thing happening to them, which law-wise, legally-wise, like it can't happen. It can't happen. But debate-wise, like, yeah, for him to bring that shit up with a straight face, and then there was a couple times where there was one major time where Kamala was like, this, and she hit that like she started tweaking, like she wanted to say this motherfucker, but she said this man. Like she
She
self-edited
forgot.
her.
She almost forgot she was on TV, dogs.
Right, which was funny because not long after on the internet, you seen people repost a video of like, I heard, like, she was being interviewed. I heard you have a favorite cuss word, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna say it, but it starts with an M and it ends with an ER." And people made video edits with, you know what? We'll say it for you. And it had Samuel Jackson clips going, motherfucker, 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 motherfucker. Like, yo, the shit it was a fun debate to watch. If you try to rewatch it, don't go in there looking for information and plans and plots and stuff. But watch it for entertainment.
Because Trump doesn't want to talk about information, plots, and plans. They asked him why his health care didn't take effect, and then he was like, "And you still haven't come up with a plan yet." And he said, "I have an idea."
Dude,
He's been having an
they asked him, so what's your plan? He said, well, I have concepts for a plan. He said, but the right, but the crazy thing is the right, he keeps saying Kamala has no policies, Kamala has no plans, Kamala has no this. She's the one who stated, I wanna create a home buyers thing where give 25,000 to first time home buyers. I want to protect women's rights to choose over their own bodies, to have, give body autonomy, like, which they don't want. You know what I'm saying? They want it to be crusty old white men telling women what to do with their bodies. You know what I'm saying? She gave tax plans. The one problem that on both sides is the Palestine Israel genocide that's going on. That's the one problem that nobody could. She mentioned, "Oh, I want a ceasefire," but not, "I want to stop money going to Israel to use these weapons to
no.
kill."
Trump said he's gonna solve all this shit. Like he's getting the Ukraine, the Russia out of Ukraine, and that's gonna end before he even becomes president. Once he gets voted in, he's gonna make it a deal, because when she brought up that he had Hamas, he wanted to bring Hamas to Camp David, and everybody was like, "You're bugging if you think you should be doing that." So he was like, "I'm just going to end it all. Like, I'm going to come in there because you want to speak to a real negotiator. That's what I do."
Right, and he just assumes, like, he thinks he's got the snap of the finger, but yet, all the people he said he is friends with, all dictators. And if you've been paying attention, This is exactly what this man was trying to do when he said this. When he said it at one of his rallies to all these Christian nationalists, like, "Don't worry, vote now. I'm gonna fix it all so you never have to vote again." Like, this man said shit like this, getting checked on shit like this, and people are like, "Nah, he didn't say that." We got coons out here that are supporting it just because they don't like women or they don't want a woman in charge, not really even paying attention to actual policy. The only policy that man mentioned it wasn't even policy. It was just get get brown people out of this country and lower taxes for his friends. That's his only policy right now.
He claims he's had the best, and people will get. He really, they want to destroy they want to destroy education at all costs. I don't know why. For people out here agreeing with that shit is bananas. Just because you're educated already doesn't mean you should not be educating your family. Your family, you don't want educated in the game, really? Oh, it's not going to apply to you. It's going to apply to the others, but not to us, because we're going to continue this. So it's going to be a close race. She's going to flip some states, I think. Black women are coming out to vote. If you're black and a woman, like, I don't know what percentage of the country they make up, but damn near 100% of those women are going to be voting for Kamala on November 3rd.
They got a few coons on the other side.
I know. I said almost. But and I think women of color and Caucasian women as well. I think they want to see a woman. Some women do want to see a woman president in power, and they do like her politics, or what they see of her. She can speak well. She can defend herself. She's very sharp. Like, these are all things we've been wanting in a younger candidate anyway, and just being a demographic, a younger generation. These young kids, they don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? They want to know what you stand for, and if you look like you could do something better than the previous guy, or the guy that they now know about who fucked things up in the first place. My thing is, I don't think Trump can ever wipe off the stain of January 6th. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he could ever wipe that stain off, and that's going to forever doom him in whatever he does. Like, unless you are a hardcore Trumper, outside of that, I mean, you got to be really hardcore, because a lot of people were turned off by January 6th. And then you got a lot of military and a lot of police that didn't like that either, even though their unions like to support, the candidates. But
Yo, he called them the crooked DC police. He called DC police crooked for doing their job that day.
bro, I don't think he'll ever wipe that stain off. I think that's just an event that was too big. People are always going to bring it up. And for him to play stupid on it just makes it worse. You know what I'm saying? There's like, you didn't say nothing about the policeman that died. You know what I'm saying? And you want to pardon all these people that stormed it. Like, what, dogs? Really?
Dude, he went to, and Tyrone, you understand this one, being a former military guy. Like, he recently went to a federal military cemetery who told him you can't be here for any kind of political stature or posturing and things like that. And exactly what the fuck did he do?
It's come on, man. We talking about a man that has always done everything he wanted to do his whole life. He's done whatever he wanted to do because he was put in positions to do whatever he wanted to do. And then you can't give a narcissist the presidency of the United States. You can't do that.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
He's done that, and now this is taking this man to another stratosphere where he thinks he's untouchable. And then on top of that, you indict him and you convict him of 33 different felonies. And the Republicans still pick this dude as their candidate for the presidency. So it's insane that you're giving an insane, narcissistic person like that the right to be insane and narcissistic. How does a guy with 33 felony convictions get to be your Republican presidential candidate? That's
Because
like you're telling him that he can do whatever the fuck he wants to do, bro. That's what you're doing to this
Yes.
no,
man.
Tyrone, yeah, that's one image, but the reason why they push for a guy like that is because of shit that I've said for years. He is their puppet. Behind the scenes, he's their puppet because they know
And it,
that they can get off whatever they want underneath him.
so if you're
That
puppet
man is a
mastering him,
marionette.
and he's a marionette and he's your puppet, right? But then you got to also understand that this man, under no circumstances, no matter what you tell him, no matter where he goes, he's not going to accept no for an answer anywhere. So when he went
Like a
there to that,
spoiled child.
yeah, they told him no. He was like, fuck you. I've been president. I'm this dude. Fuck you. And then people act like it's crazy for him to do that, but it's not. This is what you made it. You created a monster, and now you have to live with the monster you created.
It's like you said, they allowed it, but why did they allow it to this guy when they've never allowed no shit like that before? All just in sake of winning the presidency? It was just no, all bets are off. We need this win.
They're allowing it because they know that they can get and push the ridiculous ideals that they want. They want this country to be a Christian white nationalist country. Christian first, then Jewish first,
Here's the other thing,
and
too.
everybody else get the fuck out. Which mind you, what's up, Big O? I'm gonna throw this to you because we were talking about did you watch the debate or not? But mind you, weren't these same people, right? These same people, this is something nobody's talking about. These same people were all the Jews will not replace us, right? Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
They were all the Jews will not replace us. Now they are supporting them to no end right now. Why? Because this one theft of land, this one country that stole its land to make the country of Israel is out there committing genocide of people who share our melanin. So now they're in full support of that. But before it was the Jews will not replace us, right or wrong, O?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I can't debate that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a rebuttal to that. It's I don't know, man. I guess it's the enemy of my enemy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's shit is crazy, man. You know,
But debate though, you I know you watched it.
yes. So I did watch the debate. Um, yeah, there was some things that I don't know if you guys brought it up already. You know, the obvious. I know you guys brought up the obvious. The abortion, the abortion aspect. You know, when they brought that up, that was I don't know where he's trying to push this whole infanticide thing agenda about 9 months, um 9 months abortion or something like that. Like I don't know where that's coming from. You know what I'm saying? I
Oh, he's
mean,
saying
4 months is crazy to me.
he's saying they were people aborting the baby during the delivery type shit. You know, like in the ninth
Type
month.
shit.
Like,
Yeah.
that's
And
wild.
I'm like, where is this agenda coming from? You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is the second time he said it. So it's I don't know. It's the engine that's pushing it. It's not him. Like you said when I came in, he's the mouthpiece. But it's the engine that's pushing this. You know, and the whole thing with the cats and dogs and all that. I mean, yeah, nah, it was must see TV. You know what I'm saying? It was must see TV, but it's the fact that the race is still tight to me. How is race? How we saying this without talking about racism.
It shows how stupid this country is. Number one. Number two, the abortion thing. I forgot about bringing that point up because the moderator instantly was just like, sir, there is no states in this country that allow an abortion at 9
And
months.
now-
Like
That's
immediately, like,
crazy.
nigga, what are you talking about? Like, she should have said that. Like, nigga, what are you talking about?
Yeah. And that, but yo, that's the second time we brought that up. So it's like nah, it's not you didn't misspeak. You didn't you he didn't misspoke at the time, whatever the word is. You know what I'm saying? This is what they're saying in their circles that the Democrats are going for this, or a certain group of people are going for this. You know, I don't know, man.
This is why I don't like it. Y'all sitting here saying it was must-see TV, and we're right here on a podcast laughing. We're laughing about it, and it's funny, right? But y'all got to understand that this is for the presidency of the country that we live in, and so it's a joke.
That's
It's
sad.
like this
That's
is
sad.
a terrible situation that we're in, and all we can do as a people is laugh at the fact that this man can say these ridiculous things, this man can be whatever he wants to be and do all of these ridiculous things and still be a primary candidate and in the running for the presidency of our country. And we got to sit here and not be able to really do nothing about it because our vote counts. Yeah, our vote counts, and we can go on and vote, and we can politic or whatever we want to do. But at the end of the day, ultimately, if this man wins, we're in it, and we got to live in it. And that's crazy, bro.
It's
going to be
vote.
much worse.
You know,
it's going to be much worse this time around.
If you think about it, man, the same way we're sitting here laughing about it, there are people on the other side of this country that we live in that fully believe everything that comes out of this guy's mouth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if we're talking about infanticide here, you know what I'm saying? How is that? How there is somebody that believes that, we're aborting babies at 9 months. There are people that believe it right now.
Dude, there were people that believed in the cat shit. Which again, the story, because how I found out about this shit, I found out it from another podcast. It actually first came out, it was like somebody was saying, oh, the Haitians are going around Ohio stealing ducks out of the pond, breaking their necks, killing them, and eating them. Then the cat story came out, which I stated before, and I'll repeat again if you didn't, because you wasn't on here. Oh, there was a person who ate a cat. It was a woman who was going through a mental health episode in a different part of Ohio who was not Haitian.
Correct.
The woman got arrested for it. They blamed it on the Haitians because all of a sudden, a city that had like a population of like, I think they said it was like maybe 25, 30,000 because so many people left that city because the jobs were drying up, that this Haitian influx now popped their population to like almost 60,000, something like that. Like they said, there's over like 20 something thousand newer residents to this town, mostly Haitians, but they're coming for asylum. Like they were coming to leave Haiti because of obvious reasons, and they tried to call them illegal. No, these people came in legally.
Wow.
But because they're brown, it's always illegal.
It's illegal, right? I'm sorry, Tyrone, real quick. I'm sorry, Tyrone, real quick. I'm sorry. The running argument that my pops and I have is like, how come they never talk about the Norwegians coming in? They never talk about the Scandinavians coming in. You know what I'm saying? It's always the caravan. What happened to this caravan that was coming? Like, go ahead, Tyrone. I'm sorry.
You kind of make my point that it's easy to put it on the people that look brown. Because when we think of Haiti, right, and I've traveled there for the military, and the presidents go there, and all the time we get pushed this narrative. It's a poor country. It's war torn. It's all this bad stuff happening in Haiti. They don't have food, so they're hungry. They're scavengers. They're bad people. And then when you got a flux of them coming into one town, it's easy to say that puts the mark on us. That puts the mark on us because it's easy to say these people are poor, these people are scavengers, they're coming from war-torn countries, they eat animals, they eat, cats and stuff where they live at. And so it's like, boom, we can throw them right in there, and it's going to be hard for people to kind of dispute that. You know what I
You're
mean?
not wrong. You're not wrong in a way for optic wise, but the only thing I can say slightly against it is that's the narrative that they try to they use the optics on. Like they use the optics of, oh, they're coming from this messed up place. They're all this way.
Right.
And
Right.
that's where the problem lies. It's no, they're not all this way. They're not. Everybody from Haiti is not a criminal. Everybody from coming from Venezuela is not a criminal. But yet you are focusing on that 0.1% of Venezuelans who's doing the shenanigans that they're doing in Aurora, Colorado right now.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And you you
Yep.
you you're using the minimum to say that it's all. It goes back to who they deem as terrorists. Anybody who believes in the Muslim faith is a terrorist in people's eyes. I had a dude that I worked with one time told me he thought every halal cart and every yellow cab was a terrorist. Why? Because
Wow.
he worked in the World Trade Center when 9/11 happened and he believed all the rhetoric. Meanwhile, it was the 0.00001% of the Muslim faith who decided to do the atrocities that they did, with help
Dan,
by you know who, but we're not going there.
Dan, I don't know. I don't know if I want to give him a pass for thinking that, but something as traumatic as that, something as traumatic as working in the World Trade Center, you know, and when the towers was falling, it would change. It may change your ideology.
Oh, you want another little level of perspective? I've said this before here and I'll say it again. My uncle, firefighter, retired, long time retired now, firefighter who was in building one, made it out and a minute later building one fell. Still alive
Mm,
today. My mother worked in the area and was very close. Came home with all the dust of the
Yep.
9/11 of the World Trade buildings on her clothes, on her shoes. This is when she still smoked cigarettes and drank beer. Was just sitting at the edge of the bed with a cup with some Coors Lights and cigarettes, just like reflecting, like I can't believe this shit happened.
Dan, Dan, my mom
People
was
that are
down.
close to me,
My, yeah,
that close to me, and I still read through the bullshit. I
my
didn't allow it to change my view on, nah, those people who did it, they deserve everything they got as far as them being unalived or whatever. But you're not gonna get game over me. We know part why it happened. We know how it happened. We know some of the other, all the bullshit around it. And this is with 9/11 just passing this week, which again, we're not saying all this in disrespect. Condolences to everybody who lost their life. But enough information has came out that it hasn't jaded me. Now the hue of our skin tones of the person who said what I said before, I say more. And sometimes people run and stick and
But like,
believe with shit like that just because that's the surface level.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? Not me. I continued to dig. Even at that time, I wanted to know more.
right.
I, you know what I'm saying? And I say that with no disrespect. I'm just stating the factors of it. TJ, I know you was gonna add on. That's how close I was to losing people. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
That's how close I was to losing people. Like that close. Like I said, almost 1 minute and 13 seconds close.
Yeah, my mom was down on Center Street for jury duty, and she was in the subway, and he stopped the train right before Center Street, and there was like a plane hit the tower. Everybody out the subway, because you don't know if that shit's gonna lay down or fall down the way it did. You know what I'm saying? When I first got the news that happened, I was like, I remember where I was at. I was at work. I worked for Verizon at the time, and they said a plane hit the tower, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. It's clear day out. Like, what is these, like, what's a little biplane doing hitting the tower? Like, how could you miss the fucking World Trade Center? So I thought that. Then he said the tower fell, and I was like, yo, that's impossible, because you know how many city blocks would be destroyed if the shit laid down? You talking about saying all of Lower Manhattan, Battery Park is gone. You know what I'm saying? Literally gone. We probably be going down there just now from that type. That shit was like Godzilla stepped on the edge of Manhattan type shit. You know what I'm saying? That's how bad it is. So I didn't believe that either. And then we had a TV in the break room, and then when we saw what happened, we was like, oh shit. Then I'm calling my baby mom to get my daughter, because they're on that side of the bridge, and she's in daycare, and she's like, I got her. Don't worry about it. Like they were shutting down the Tappan Bridge, George Washington, Queens, 59th Street, Brooklyn. When they said they were shutting all that shit down, that shit was wild, bro. And then there were no planes in the sky for like a month. And I just remember, real quick, because we would drive into the city a lot, and we take the GW from our side, and you saw the smoke from the towers for months after that shit. That was a stark reminder. That shit was there for like 6 months, dog. Straight up. That was just crazy to me to see that.
Yo, my ex-wife, moms lived in downtown Brooklyn, and you could see the smoke from her building. You know what I'm saying? You mute, Dan.
No, he's mute. He's talking to somebody.
Okay. No, I want to say it's like it does, but you do get that different perspective. Like when you look on the news, and they say that the Muslims did it, and I was working with a Muslim guy, and he was like, his perspective was, yeah, I'm glad we did it. Like he was one of those like, fuck the United States, fuck the government, fuck the yeah, and he was kind of like almost like happy about it. You know what I mean? So when you see somebody like that, you just like, oh, if this. So he kind of did make me think like, oh, this is a Muslim uprising. You know what I mean? So now I was taken aback when I seen like the Muslim dudes on the street with their little, preaching and stuff like that. I was kind of taken aback. Like, did y'all really? Is this a Muslim uprising? Because the way he was talking at my job, so it's like. It did take me back a little bit, but I'm not one of those naive people that could be like, okay, all Muslims are bad. But he had me looking at him sideways, like, hold up, I don't know about this, you know what I mean? Until you find out different details. But when it first happened and that dude was talking like that, I wasn't getting in no cabs, I'll tell you that much.
Now I can dig it, man. I can dig it. But point of even bringing that up, once again, we just left the anniversary of 9/11 this week, and once again, condolences to everybody who lost their lives. But it's just, I guess I kind of brought that up in a way to just give the perspective of how easy it is to convince people's minds and change people's minds on shit and views of people and things like that. Like, again, this is the same crop of people who were all the Jews will not replace us. Now they want to support them to no end. Now they want the American government to continue to send them money to continue so this guy could continue this genocide that's going on.
Damn, we have somebody now that's like Trump is taking this woman under his arm, under his wing, whatever you want to call it, and she's a straight up 9/11 was an inside job, all that. So, but by Trump doing,
wait a minute, if it was an inside job, Bush was president at the time. It was a Republican president.
Yeah.
But
What are you talking about?
you gotta understand though, well, I have my thoughts behind that, but this ain't the Republican Party anymore.
Yeah, Trump ain't fucking with none of them.
This is the MAGA Party, and
Yeah,
like almost if you want to call them fundamental Republicans, even a lot of them are not down with what this is going on with Trump. There's a list of like, I think they said like it was almost 200, 100 something, maybe 200 different Republicans that are supporting Harrison Walls because they are not down with what this fucking clown has been trying to do.
yeah,
And yeah, I'm not, we don't even, I forgot her name. Oh, I
yeah.
just
Me
learned
too. I
about her
forgot
this
it's
week. We don't
not
need to know
important.
her name.
Yeah, not
We don't
important.
need, but this bitch, racist, like beyond racist, and spews the most ridiculous shit that there is. Like so much so that like the shit that I heard this week was she got Marjorie Taylor Greene mad. And so this is MAGA
Wow.
on MAGA. They're fighting each other. And I think it's more because this woman is running toe to toe with Trump running around the country, and Marjorie Taylor Greene's dick sucking ass. She ain't getting those props right now. She ain't getting that kind of love for her Lord and Savior Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? She's not getting that same support and respect and the ability to bounce around the country with him like this chick is. But
Mhm.
but Trump don't know. Trump don't know nothing about what she said yet. He has to look it up.
Yo, that's his playbook, man. Just like Project 25, man.
Yeah.
Project
I don't
25.
know.
That's the playbook.
I don't know nothing about Project 2025, but everybody who wrote it, almost they said almost 90% of the people who wrote it was all in his cabinet during his presidency.
Crazy.
And those dudes, half those dudes are in jail now.
Hmm. That's a fact.
But but go ahead, ignorant people of America that support this guy. And TJ, I'm gonna mention a name that we know that might make you look different at the homie after. But these ignorant ass people who are supporting this shit. I mean, and I'm gonna keep it real. Like I said in one of my comments on a Facebook page or that on a post on Facebook on somebody else's shit. Cause I was laughing because everybody's like, yo, this is a 3-on-1, 3-on-1. I was like, wait, you're getting mad because this guy was being held accountable? But then I was telling him, like, listen, I honestly don't support either one of them. This election for me, is anybody over Trump. That's it. Because I don't want to go back. I don't want to go to a place that we never been. We were born decades after, which is slavery. I don't want to go back to that shit. I don't want to go back to colors
Word.
only water fountains. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go
Word.
to colors only water fountains. Even though there's some black people who think that level of segregation was good for us, and in certain ways I can understand, but
That's
nah,
outrageous.
And
It's just
Dan,
outrageous.
Dan. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tyrone.
It's outrageous to me that we have a candidate that's so bad that we don't even give a fuck about what the other candidate is saying. We just like, look, anything but him, and that's it. And it's just
yeah,
like,
but Tyrone,
that's
you know,
Yo,
insane.
but the thing is, you know, with politics, they talk a good game so we can vote them so they can have a job for a few years. You know what I'm saying? Right? Oh, I mean, right or wrong, oh.
no, you're right.
We
You're
vote
right.
these people in to have a job for a few years. So they talk the good shit and then they still fuck us in the end. One way or
Eric
another.
Adams. Eric Adams.
But Donald Trump is Donald Trump though is gaping with no lube. I don't want that.
Word.
I don't want that.
And to piggyback off of what you talking about Jim Crow. For those who are saying, oh, we'll never go back to that. We'll never go back to that. Think about affirmative action. You know what I'm saying? Affirmative action is no more. You know what I'm saying? Things like abortion,
DEI
Roe
is
v.
no
Wade
more.
is no more. Say again?
DEI, diversity and inclusion.
Yeah, right.
That's dead.
DEI. Yeah, there's no more. You know, so yeah, it can go back.
They're
One day,
and they're
one
threatened
shit.
by that acronym. My
Mm-hmm.
bad.
Yeah, nah, you're right. They
No,
are.
all I was saying, my bad. I didn't mean to jump like that. I didn't mean to jump on you like that. But all I was saying is they're afraid of that acronym and they're utilizing it as the new nigga.
Yeah, yeah. Forget the fact that you have the credentials. Let's forget about the fact that you have all the credentials for said position. You know, you look at Kamala Harris, and I don't have it. I don't have her credentials listed in front of me. But yo, she didn't go to Trump University. You know, and get somebody to fudge the numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, she did her shit. She went to HBCU. You know, did what she had to do. Got her degrees.
Got a
Like, come
high
on, man.
profile job. One of the highest
Yes,
profile jobs in the country. District Attorney of LA. That's
and
yes.
what they're choosing to say is she sucked her dick to get all of that. Like this
Yeah.
is where they're just up to trying to be insult comics, but they're not being funny. They
But
That's what
but
they
believe.
did
but
when
but damn,
Obama was
be
running.
fair.
They did
Be
the same thing
fair.
when Obama was running.
Be fair, because those 8 years ago when dude was caught on tape saying grab him by the pussy, nobody's bringing that up. You know
Now,
what I'm saying?
now
Right now, yeah,
they brought it up then, and they didn't care because
and they
they
didn't
got
care.
all the
Yeah,
crusty poor white men saying, "Yeah, we want to grab them all by the cooter."
huh. It was locker room talk. That's how boys do.
Yeah,
Man, yo.
we in for some more bullshit though. But the other bullshit though that we in for now is I don't know if you've been in these internet streets, but people are mad, and I'm talking big mad, that Kendrick Lamar is the halftime performer for the Super Bowl. I mean, big mad. What's y'all thoughts on this shit, TJ?
I really don't care. I don't. Um, they're getting caught up in like, yo, Jay-Z banned Wayne, and how could they not go to Wayne? Wayne's mad. Nicki Minaj. Wayne, you have no stage presence whatsoever, my guy. When you're rhyming, zero. You stand in a spot, you say your bars, and everybody goes crazy. This ain't the show for that. This ain't the show for that. Secondly, they already explained the whole city picks who they want. Kendrick Lamar is a million degrees hot right now. And he's going to take that every chance to get on Front Street. And then to play a Drake diss song, probably at the end of it all. And you don't know. He could bring out Wayne. He could bring out the whole Cash Money thing. They could bring out Master P. You don't know. You can bring out guests at Super Bowl halftime shows. This is a thing. It can happen. Like,
He can bring
damn.
out Drake.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, he can bring out whoever. A lot of people want to do that show. They've never done that show before. So if they see Kendrick's name pop up on the line, they're answering that call.
Like, one of the things I'm seeing is people calling him a hypocrite, which that part I'm
My
not
thing
getting. I'm not getting, Tyrone. Go ahead, my bad. Go ahead.
my thing is this, right? So I think you can be, if you don't like Kendrick or you don't think he's a big enough star or whatever reason you want to be mad about it, you have right to be mad. But for people to say they mad about it because they pick Kendrick over Lil Wayne, it's like, I don't trust Lil Wayne. I don't trust Lil Wayne to do a concert anyway. Let alone who's going to trust. It's well documented that this man has came to concerts high, drunk, fucked up. It's well documented that this man has forgot his own lyrics. It's well documented that this man don't really care about the industry no more like that. He's even said he might quit rapping. He don't give a fuck. It's like This is the guy you want at the Super Bowl? I don't trust him. So even if it wasn't Kendrick, I don't care who it was, Lil Wayne would not be the choice ever.
Like, I get it. Like, and like I'm looking at this thing in multiple ways. Like TJ said, like, yo, they got. I mean, I don't know how truly affiliated for even for throughout all these years, but I don't know how truly affiliated Birdman and Wayne and them are to to Pyru blood culture for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? Like I watched a video the other night, like the guy was just like on some like, yo, who put them on? Like who really put them on? Yeah, Corey, I'll send you the link in a minute, in a second. But I was like, I was on some like, yo, who really put y'all on type shit, you know? And but if you want to say like they got that connection there that Wayne can still look out and still bring him through and still bring him through. You know what I'm saying? I mean not Wayne, but Kendrick can still bring him through. Um, like I would like to see, to be honest with you, like there's gonna be some type of tribute to the state. TJ, you put me onto some shit that I didn't even know. I didn't know that the host, the host, whatever, the host state, city
Yeah, town.
chooses who comes on. You know what I'm saying? I didn't
Right.
know that. So that's interesting as hell. But for a state, I mean, in a city that is like big band material, like they band, second line, shit like that. Like,
Jazz.
you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like,
that's a no brainer then.
dude, to have Kendrick up there playing "They Not Like Us," who many people said, "Yo, this joint, wait till the HBCU bands get a hold of this." You best believe that either in the middle of that 15 minutes or at the end, he gonna have Grambling, every HBCU come together as one on that field and shut that joint down.
Yep.
I mean, shut it down. But like you said though, like who said Kendrick might not invite them? The ultimate dopest thing would be if he did have Drake pop out. That would be fire. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. But it's a show. Plus, these same people weren't mad last year when Kendrick popped out with Dr. Dre.
Hmm.
They weren't calling him a hypocrite or none of this shit then. He was already in a halftime performance. Where was this energy then? Oh, your turn.
I'll be honest with you, man. That this whole thing about cities picking the artists, that's new to me, man. And that puts a whole different spin on everything. Like, so you mean to tell me that New Orleans, Louisiana didn't pick you, Lil Wayne? Like, I'm kind of mad that I'm going after Tyrone because he pretty much said everything I was going to say. Like, he just looks horrible out there, man. I mean, for one, you're I'm 49, so you got to be in your, let's say, early 40s, the most. Yo, you look like you in your 50s. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you really look bad out there, dude. And so you being mad and you saying, "Oh, I'm in my feelings" and all. You really need to start reflecting on yourself. Like, okay, maybe is there something I'm doing wrong? Like, do I need to clean myself up? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you need. Don't let's not sit here and pass blame and try to pass blame on nobody else. You know, and yeah, like, yo, right now that song, everyone is waiting to hear. Like you said, everyone is waiting to hear big band, HBCUs, Louisiana, bands or whatever play that song. We're all waiting for that as a fan. You know, so yeah, man. I'm okay with the Kendrick Lamar pick. You know.
Yeah, I guess I'm perfectly fine with it. Cause like, yo, you gotta also put into perspective too. They were so a lot of people put out lists of artists and where they performed, right? we had in New York, we had Bruno Mars. Well, Jersey technically, but you know, but we had Bruno Mars in the New York Super Bowl, and we're talking about New York, like a million artists are here alone. If we really want to be complaining and shit now, if we really want to be complaining about this, you know what I'm saying? Uh, Beyonce had Houston at one time, right? But then when they went back to Houston for a Super Bowl, they didn't have Beyonce again.
That's right.
If we really complaining, I forgot what state had
I'm
Lady
not.
Gaga. I think it was Houston. They had Lady Gaga. Or New York. Well,
I'm I'm 100% convinced that you can't tell me Drake ain't coming out. You cannot convince me that Drake will not be at the Super Bowl. That's going to be amazing. I'm 100%
That means
convinced that Kendrick is going to find a way to bring Drake out, and that's going to destroy the internet. Is going to shut down in February. You watch that.
it's gonna be
I'm
bigger than Jay-Z bringing out Nas.
Oh yeah. Because for one, it's
I,
at the Super Bowl.
I, I don't think that's happening. I,
I
I,
do.
I, I don't see that because
What's up, Corey? What's going on, good brother?
what's going on, gentlemen? Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
So you wanted to jump on for this. Now you stuck with us for the rest of the show. So what
That's
what is
fine.
what has been your thoughts? Because I know you've been in these TikTok streets and Instagram streets and seeing people calling Kendrick hypocrite and all of this stuff. And I don't know. Maybe you could tell us what the hypocritical part is, but
I think it's just because of a lot of the socio-political stuff with the NFL and of course with Black Lives Matter and the whole issue with Colin Kaepernick and just to see Kendrick, who's definitely like pretty much like kind of a modern day rebel or punk, or in some cases, all the positive things that we think about when we hear Hotep without the negative side. And to see him doing the halftime show, a lot of folks might feel that there's a certain, I don't know, betrayal of sorts when, from a business standpoint, it would be a dumb move not to do it. Because one of the few times I agree with Joe Budden, when you got all these HBCUs playing Not Like Us, and you're going to be in New Orleans, Dixieland band. Furthermore,
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
earlier
Well,
this year, Lil Wayne Lil Wayne was on one of the biggest stages in the world. He was out there at WrestleMania. Literally, literally the biggest platform he could have ever been on. Over 650 million individual streams of WrestleMania.
damn.
damn.
Yeah, like think
Suck
about it.
that. Suck
So
Well, I was
that.
gonna
it's
say,
I'm
how do
still
you look?
loud. Suck that. Pimp.
How do you look?
Pimp. He only
I
did.
think I think he was
He only
getting
did
to
that
that
fucking
point,
ring like
Tyrone. I
15
like the
seconds.
energy. I think he was getting there though. I think he was getting to that though in his
like
take.
he like he went out there. It was it was okay. It was functional. Like and let's
It's
be
not
real.
okay.
Let's be real. When it comes to stage performances, Kendrick Lamar brings it every single time. Shoot, I forget
Facts.
which award show, but he had niggas climbing on ropes on fire, and one dude just on fire with a ninja sword.
Hmm, 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 hmm.
Wait, what? I'm not sure what's going on, but all right.
Corey,
Like,
I said this before. Wayne has no stage presence.
yeah, he doesn't,
Zero.
and
Zero.
that's because half of the time he's too far going to make to remember he's on stage.
It's it's not even funny how bad the WrestleMania thing was. He didn't even finish a whole song. It was kind of like the WWE saw him start, and then they was like, they did the whole Oscar thing, like, like playing him off the stage, like, go ahead, go
Wow.
get out of here. Like this ain't
They hit him with the
working,
wrap
bro.
it up box.
Yeah.
Wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
Wrap it up, B.
Yeah, nah, it's
Wow.
just the hysteria. I mean, and yeah, it's obvious. Like it's obvious why you would pick him. The man has he's had the most polarizing song of the year to this day. How do you
Also,
not?
this isn't the first, second, or third time in the last what 15 years that the Super Bowl has been in New Orleans. And Lil Wayne didn't do the halftime show any of those other times.
Right.
So it's like, why do y'all give a flying fuck now?
They
Mhm.
didn't do he didn't do the halftime show when the New Orleans Saints won the Super Bowl in the Superdome when the lights went out. No, that was the Ravens that won in the Superdome. That was the Ravens that won in the Superdome when the lights
Yeah,
went
they
out.
beat the
Yeah,
49ers. That was Colin Kaepernick's
yeah,
last
yeah.
Super Bowl game.
And if I remember correctly, he was hot back then. He's not hot He's not hot right now. That's another thing. Like you said,
And
Kendrick Lamar has the most talked about song.
yeah, and it's kind of like one of Eddie Murphy's old jokes. What have you done for me lately?
Hmm.
It's like no, like
Hey
no one
Corey,
will take
I want
away
to
that
ask you though.
You know what? Hold on, Tyrone. You want to know what we've done lately? Pardoned by Trump.
that's what
Fox Sports regular because of Skip Bayless. Like
that
Yep.
part. I'm like, and that's the part that be killing me because I'm like, so I was like, I mean, did we forget a lot of the trials and tribulations of Lil Wayne? We talking about the man who was in the middle of an interview said he didn't even understand what Black Lives Matters was about, and the very next night he was trying to chant that shit at his crowd, and it was just like, what are you? Come on, bro. It's like pick a struggle. It's like we talking about Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne got arrested for bringing guns and drugs into Mexico. He bringing them in. It's like, do you not know they have plenty of them?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like you wanted to bring your own? All right, sure.
yeah, Tyrone, my bad.
I wanted to ask Corey because this was my only argument really against Kendrick is like for us hip hop heads, yeah, Kendrick's a good choice. Like we like Kendrick in the catalog, but does Kendrick have enough mainstream catalog to carry like a Super Bowl performance? Because his
Yes.
catalog to me is not Super Bowl catalog to me. It's more like hip hop heads like me would like it, but like I don't know. I don't know if his catalog works for Super Bowl. Not to me
Tyrone,
personally, it don't.
Tyrone, Tyrone.
I mean,
He's got a Nobel Peace Prize winning album
right.
with hits on it.
I
Humble.
mean,
Yo,
To
when
pimp
he
a
plays "We Gonna Be All Right," that place
that
is gonna go bananas, bro.
steal my thunder,
I
That
mean,
TJ.
place is
Stole her thunder. Remember what I brought up. Remember what I brought up about the event we were at on Pickin' Ave that our homie T. Smith put together.
yeah,
And
yeah.
we were the only old heads that didn't understand all right at that time,
mhm.
except for the homie Eddie, except for the homie Ed. That
Like,
joint right there, that joint right there was already an anthem before They Not Like Us.
right.
Yeah.
If he
That
opens
first
the
that
show,
first album
and then
It's
again,
still
fire.
an anthem. It's still an anthem.
dude, and then think about it
Let,
like this. Think about
mm,
this spin that literally just hit me right now, right?
mm,
The first joint that we all really, if you really go back with Kendrick, the first joint that we really got on to him to was the joint Rigor Mortis.
right.
If he came out to this, which Kendrick, hopefully you listen, and hopefully somebody sends this. If you come out in New Orleans with a second line band opening the show with rigor mortis, the place could I would say the place could melt down. The place is going to be filled with people who are just going to be getting familiar with Kendrick's music, i.e. millionaires and $100,000aires who could afford $50,000, $60,000 tickets. But at home, those who know, damn it. And then again, he's got hits for almost every year.
Yeah, let's let's just let's for a brief moment take out
But then,
let's take out 2024. You've got Pride, DNA, All Right, Count Me Out, Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, Family Ties, Humble, Swimming Pools, Money Trees. Hell, just for the shits and giggles to keep our Snow Sapien friends out there, he could come out there with Taylor Swift and do Bad Blood.
And what you just did was mention more than 15 minutes worth of music that could carry. Because remember, 15 minutes of unpaid work, mind you.
Right.
Yep.
Unpaid work.
I think that can carry with us. I don't know if that Super Bowl audience is the audience for that music. I'm just saying.
Well, you got to remember this though, Tyrone.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
The Super Bowl has had Rihanna, U2, Bruno Mars with the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Beyonce, Adam Levine by himself. Kendrick will be fine.
Listen,
but all those artists you mentioned, the people in the stands listen to. The people in the stands listen. Somebody in the stands listen to Adam Levine. You know what I'm saying? And Bruno Mars.
Universal. It was universal. They
Right.
all had universal vibes though. Like, and let's see,
Right.
it was Maroon 5. They killed it. And I don't like halftime shows. But Maroon 5 killed it. Bruno Mars killed it. We'll keep it honest. Ain't nobody ever gonna beat what Prince did. Just forget that.
You stole my thunder, Dan.
Well, there we go. We 1 for 1, TJ. Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
was gonna just say
Go ahead.
like his halftime show, and I think that was in Minnesota. So that would be the only time that would be right.
No, it wasn't. We were both. That's where you're wrong. It happened at the Super Bowl in Miami when the Colts won,
Okay.
and it rained when he sung Purple Rain. It started raining when he did Purple Rain.
Yeah, and it was bananas after that.
Because you got Michael Jackson, then Prince, then you could figure out everybody else as you go.
The Super Bowl in Minnesota was when my Eagles won, and that was the first time it was in Minnesota because it's the new stadium.
Unnecessary fact.
Unnecessary
fact.
Yes,
unnecessary.
But yo, just real quick to get off of this, I got to spin it back to our first topic because there was a piece of ridiculousness that I heard this man say at one of his rallies, bringing back Donald Trump again. Did y'all hear him say Nicki Jam? Have you ever heard of Nicki Jam? Yeah, she's pretty hot.
Who the hell?
Do y'all know who Nicki Jam is?
No. This is the first time I'm hearing it.
I assume it's an escort he recalls.
It was one of the biggest reggaeton artists when the genre popped.
I thought it was something I was about to go order to put on my sandwich, my peanut butter.
Let me see if I can show y'all. Let me see if I can share the screen from here. But
there's a jelly in South Carolina called Bama jelly, right? It's some of the best fucking jelly I've ever eaten in my entire life. They have this apple jelly.
Yeah,
it's amazing, dog. It's amazing. I bring it back every time I get a chance because that's the only time I'm eating peanut butter and jelly anymore with Bama jelly. It's literally called Bama jelly.
Try Amazon, TJ. It might be on Amazon. You ain't gotta go down south for that shit.
But Nicky Jam is a full-grown Puerto Rican man
Oh
who does
man.
reggaeton music, and he says she's hot. But Joe Biden can't talk. But I digress on that.
Well, two wrongs don't make a right.
Well,
3 rights
Listen,
make a left, though.
listen,
but
listen.
we gonna move on to our the
I'm
last
sleepy, Joe,
topic
but
though, about somebody who we hope can still keep the cognitive ability to talk, and that's a one Tua Tagovailoa. Because damn it, man, did this guy just go through 2 concussions in the same game?
yeah, I don't. I saw those hits, and I do think it is time for him to reevaluate his future.
Good key word right there, because Big O asked the question that we're gonna try to come to a solution on right now. What
Yes.
was that question? Oh,
The question was, should the NFL, should Roger Goodell and the NFL force Tua to retire?
Mm.
You know, because it's at that point. I'll be honest with you. I'll take it a step further, and something that I was again talking to my pops about watching another college game. I forgot which game I was watching, and I seen another quarterback do it. I think it's to the point where we need to start the NFL needs NFL and college football and high school football need to start penalizing quarterbacks for not sliding, and intentionally trying to get that extra yard. And I don't know if it'll take away from the game, from the sport, but people's brain health is more important than that. And
You know what's so
players like Tua just don't seem to get it, man. I don't know.
You know what's so
Also,
stupid about
mhm.
quarterbacks trying to get that extra yard is based on the NFL rule. If you are a quarterback and you're running, your forward momentum stops from where you initiate a slide. So if you go head first, the forward momentum they automatically stop your forward momentum. So you don't even get as a quarterback, you don't even get that extra yard. If you lean forward with your head, they stop the momentum where your feet stop at because you're supposed to slide. So the new slide rule says that the ball is placed where you initiate the slide with your feet. So if a quarterback leads with his head, he doesn't even get that extra yard or whatever. Only in a quarterback sneak situation. But if a quarterback is actually running and becomes a rusher, he cannot lead with his head because the league rule says that they won't even get the yardage. So doing that is irrelevant anyway.
Mm.
Plus, Tyrone, he gets treated like a runner. So this is
Yeah,
exposing him to get cracked like anybody
Yep.
else who's getting cracked. So, you want to be a runner at that point, and a safety comes across the middle and rocks your knot from the other direction, and it's a legal hit, then people are going to be saying, yo, dude, why didn't you slide? You saw this dude coming.
and I was gonna
Right.
say you do get those yards when you do dive and put the ball forward. It's not like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
what you said is correct in a slide situation, not a slide. If you're sliding face first, it's not like a long jumper where your feet land but your butt falls behind you and it goes by the furthest point. If you dove with the ball, that counts. It doesn't count from where your feet are. It's like a quarterback that
but
dives for a touchdown. The ball crosses the plane, but your feet are still on the 1 yard line. You're not stopped at the one. That's a touchdown.
right,
Mm.
right.
You know what I'm saying? But
I was gonna I
you're
was gonna
not
say
wrong in a slide scenario.
would that be different though with college as opposed to NFL? Because college, as soon as you're down, as soon as you fall or whatever the case is, you're
That's
down.
it. There's no getting up. Yeah, there's no getting up and
Right.
moving. But for Tua's situation though, like The first
He's
one,
taking
I
some
don't even.
bad takes, man.
Yeah, the first one, he got pushed in what used to be thought of as like a bang bang type play. Then I think they threw the flag on it. He got up, stumbled, fell again. But then the irony of he fell forward and his head landed in DeMar Hamlin's chest.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Think
wild.
about that whole
That's
irony there.
wild. I saw
Yeah.
an
Yeah.
article on that.
Phew. And I remember, I remember watching that game live. It was, oof,
It was
mm,
scary.
yeah. Because shoot,
Yeah.
from when
Well,
I had some, we had in high school. I remember we had a few instances where brothers had dropped just in the middle of the game. One dude,
my problem with Tua is the hit that he got the concussion with on Sunday is like wasn't a hit. You know what I mean? So now, if you're that fragile now that you're getting concussions from things like that, you technically kind of can't play in the NFL. It's almost if that's going to
Yeah.
give you a concussion, then anything that happens to you is going to give you a concussion. You know what I mean? Like
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
Hamlin was
Mm-hmm.
trying to
Facts. Facts.
he was trying to catch him, kind of. He didn't even hit him. He was just. It seemed like he just fell into his chest, and he was trying to like cradle him and catch him and stop him from falling, and that's a concussion.
Facts.
So to me, Tua can't play in the league because anything could give him a concussion now.
Tyrone, I agree with everything you just said because I watched it in real time when it happened. Me and my brother, and my issue is like, okay, dude, you know that you've already had multiple concussions. There should never be a time when you're scrambling and you cross that line of scrimmage, you should already be ready to slide. You know what I'm saying? Just to protect yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because yes, it's a paycheck and everything, but you playing football is a small piece of the rest of your life. So it
And
being
that
fourth
money's
and four,
guaranteed. That money's
and the money's
guaranteed.
guaranteed. It being fourth and four, oh, I'm going to do it for my team. I need because we need this first down. No, I'm not going to say I'm not going to go as far as say I don't care. But yo, dude, you need to protect yourself. And
Well,
it's documented. It's documented that okay, once you get those first couple of concussions, any type of little dust up, you're getting another one.
Yeah,
mhm.
You
easily.
know, yeah,
Easily. See, a person like him should always be thinking slide first, even though coming
yes.
soon they're gonna have to put him in a bubble to play
And
in November.
those new cap things, I think should just um, I think they should just make it mandatory.
but
But
to answer your
the added
question,
padding that they use in training camp.
Hmm.
Uh,
but,
but
but
then
to
branding,
answer your question,
you can't advertise the brands.
right?
Yes, you can. Mhm. You look.
But
You
to
good.
answer your question, no, I don't believe the NFL, Goodell, anybody should step. And I believe that if the Miami Dolphins and their organization personally care about Tua, care about him, then maybe they can release him and say, "Hey, we don't want this guy on our team. We don't want to be responsible for his health."
Right.
But he's a grown man, and the NFL as a league says on every
You got to
level,
blacklist
we
him.
learn,
You got to.
we learn on every level, football is dangerous. Football is fucked up. Football is this, football is that. And we allow these players and their parents and their families and everybody involved to make their own decisions on whether or not they're going to play. They know the risks, they know everything, and they're grown men. So if you know all of this and the NFL has put out this information and you make a choice to play football, that's your choice. Now the Dolphins can say, "Hey, we stand on business. We don't want this guy. We don't want this responsibility." But for the NFL to have the responsibility to say, "Hey, we're going to tell this guy he can't play anymore," no, that's not. I don't think the league should be involved in that because they
And that's
tell you and you make that choice yourself.
where I
He
think
he
I
already he
stand
already, he
too,
already come out and
Tyrone.
said,
I think I
I'm
stand
I'm
on
so,
that same.
I'm sorry,
Uh,
guys.
just to answer, I wanted to answer your question also. I think that's where I stand too, Tyrone. If you're gonna put the onus on anybody outside of Tua and his family, It's the Miami Dolphins organization. We paid you this money. Unfortunately, we see where this is going. We value your life over what you can do for us. We might have to put you down, dog. That's bars right there.
Yeah.
But we might have to put you down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then this is where the NFL comes into play, because then the NFL can do what they did to a Colin Kaepernick, because we know he was blackballed, even though a lot of the quest I've said before, a lot of his quest was he was really just trying to get back into the league, but I digress. We're not talking about that. But the NFL can then step in and be like, yeah, maybe y'all shouldn't pick this guy up. Hint, 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 hint. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
That's how the NFL could step in.
Because I was gonna say that he already said on ESPN that he's not retiring. So
Yeah, he said that now.
Yeah.
Some people rather die on the field.
But
I was talking to Jamal earlier, man. I was like, and I don't want to group up a certain sect of people, a certain race of people, a certain ethnic group, but it just seems like, I think about Junior Seau, I think about Superfly Snooker, all these dudes,
yeah, Pacific
they're
Islanders.
real susceptible.
But I mean, we also kind of know them for having hard ass heads too. right, Corey? I mean, we kind of know them for also having hard ass heads.
But we've also seen what happens in their life further down the line.
Yeah, but we've also seen, but we have the flip side of that too. Like we've seen guys like Steve Young, we've seen guys like Troy Aikman, who are fine. You know what I mean? So there is a flip side. Steve Young had concussion problems. He had to leave a little early. He did make a conscious decision to leave a little early. But Troy Aikman was getting concussions, it seemed like, almost every week when the NFL didn't even have concussion protocols. And he seemed
you're right.
fine. You know what I mean? So we have the flip side of it too. But I like what James Jones said on ESPN, on Fox Sports. He said, we don't know Tua's home situation. He said he played in the NFL, and he said every time he went home or every time his wife talked to him about football, she was scared. She said every game he played, she was scared and she was nervous. And every time he came home, she was like, okay, we got lucky today. Like, she did not like him playing football. And she said that after a certain amount of injuries and a certain amount of time, she said, when is enough going to be enough? And, and he said that's what his wife used to ask him when he got a concussion. She said, so how many concussions is it going to take for you to give football up? So he was like, so you got to take in consideration the families, and what we don't know is what Tua's family is telling him at home.
Well, that's good if they're telling him that. I mean, damn.
Right, and that's what I said earlier. Outside of the Miami Dolphins, outside of his family and just the Miami Dolphins situation, the NFL as a league needs to. They can't dictate it. Then they would show the real Gestapo that they are. Then.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, for me, what would be the standard? You know what I'm saying? If they say, "Hey, Tua, you got to retire because you have a certain amount of concussions," and then let's say somebody like Patrick Mahomes with 2 concussions, if the NFL going to say, "Oh, well, Patrick Mahomes, you got 2 concussions, we retire Tua, you got to retire too," you know what I mean?
Right. There's going to be new clauses in contracts. Yeah, like
maybe something like that needs to happen.
Like, has to be.
Remember Any Given Sunday, where in the movie the tank was having like concussions, and it was just like, I don't think he can play anymore. So they was like, what if we convince him? We give him a clause. If he gets another one, he's done. They give him an extra $1 million on his contract.
Right. Well, I mean, it wasn't a concussion, but
Taylor.
we can look at Ronnie Lott.
That was the Lawrence Taylor. There was a
Lawrence
Taylor. Yeah, and
I freaking love that movie, man.
He took a game-ending hit But he's like, yo, I get paid now. And he was like, that's all I wanted
Yeah.
to do was get paid.
Here,
That was
here's
his
the
last
fucked up
thing.
Here's the fucked up thing. No, we don't want to get into a situation. We've already been in situations where concussions and injuries were misdiagnosed, right? So now if you got a guy like say like a Josh Allen or like a Patrick Mahomes, right? Even if you do give him a contract and you say, hey, 3 concussions and you're done, or 2 concussions and you're done, right? How many concussions is he gonna have that's not gonna get diagnosed? Because once you get that 1 concussion, they're gonna be like, oh, another concussion, we're gonna lose Patrick Mahomes. So now my man's not gonna get diagnosed properly, man.
And
They're not gonna give
remember,
that second concussion, bro.
we just talked about this concussion protocol because of the era of how many fingers do I have up? That
I'm
was
Batman.
concussion protocol on the sideline.
And smelling salts.
That it was a little stinger.
Man.
Oh, he got his bell rung.
That's what's gonna happen if we're Patrick
I
Mahomes. They're gonna be like, what's your name? Patrick Mahomes. We good. He knows the name.
But see,
Yeah,
Tyrone,
because
no, but see, your point is valid, but it doesn't. The thing is, it's like you don't have to apply that in everybody's contract. Because if you had a career where you haven't been susceptible to it, but now you're looking for a new team and you want this team to take a chance on you, but you have this history, that's where it comes into contract. But all valid, though. All valid.
I don't know, man. I mean, seeing that play in real time, I guess skews my beliefs on this whole thing. Because me personally, if it's up to me, he wouldn't play another snap of football again. You know what I'm saying? To see him go down like that, and to see his hands and his fingers curl up like that again, I'm like, nah, he's done. You're done. You know, your health is more important than anything.
I take the pads off from, give him a clipboard and a pencil. He's going to be assistant
That's
assistant
it.
something. Just
I do believe that the Dolphins organization should say, hey, we're not letting you play no more. I do believe.
But see, that's not enough. That Tyrone, that's not enough. That's not enough because he's a good quarterback. So somebody else is going to pick him up. But he doesn't need to play football anymore.
Somebody desperate.
Yeah.
But everybody knows the risk of football. Tua and his family know the risk. And the thing is this too. Here's my main point. His money's guaranteed, right? So it's not about the money, right? So if Tua decides to still play football as a grown man, and he's going to be home, and he has a wife and 2 children. He discussed it with his wife. As a grown man, if he went home and discussed it with his wife and his parents and his family, and they came to the agreement that he should still play football, even though he no longer needs the money, and now he's just playing for what? For the love of the game or the love of the sport or whatever fucked up reason in his mind he wants to play for.
Tyrone.
That's his problem.
You can't.
Tyrone. To go off of that argument, right? Muhammad Ali, after he fought Spinks the second time, they was like, yo, dude, you don't need to step back in the ring no more. There's nothing else for you to prove. Don't go back in the ring. He went back in the ring again against Larry Holmes and got beat on for 12 rounds and was never the same after that.
Well, he got assaulted for 12 rounds.
He was assaulted.
But was he told?
And you can't. I don't think it's fair to just say for the love of the game bullshit. You talking about people who dedicated over 10 years of their lives to sports. I dedicated 12 years of my life to combat sports. 12 years. Walking away was hands down one of the hardest things I ever had to do. I cried. I screamed. It wasn't about the money. It wasn't even about the belt anymore. It was like it's a you get institutionalized into a sport. Just the way people spend too much time behind prison and they get institutionalized into it. It is very hard to walk away. Look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady has lost everything to the game.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about it.
Well,
He's
did he lose everything? I don't know
well, he
about
lost
that. Go
everything to
ahead,
the
Tyrone. Make
game
your point
and
because I wanted to
cryptocurrency.
add on something he said.
I'm
He
not.
lost everything to the game and cryptocurrency.
Come on, come on. Here's the thing, though. I never said that it was going to be an easy decision. I'm just saying that the variables are not that bad for him to make that decision. Inside himself, he has a love of the game. Inside himself, he dedicated his life to that. But when you got a wife that's telling you, hey, maybe we want you around. When you got people, analysts, people who play the sport, everybody saying, hey, you got a lot of life to live after football. When you're only 26 years old, you know you can live into your 70s, and you got money to take care of your family. You got generational wealth. You got two little kids. All of those things, to me, should make this decision easy. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
I know it's hard to walk
Take
away from the sport, but he's got everything lined up for him to have an easy decision to walk away from the fucking sport.
take now the
For the
problem
rest of his
within your
life.
statement is take yourself out of it. That it looks like an easy decision to you, but take yourself out of it because it goes to what Corey said. It really
Yeah.
did, and it does. And I was raising my hand because remember, I broke my leg playing football as an adult in pads.
Shoot.
6 months later, I wasn't done playing football. I was back on the field. Is that a concussion? No. But I'm playing a position where a lower leg injury, I'm utilizing my lower fucking leg injury on a daily basis. I gotta walk. I gotta
Mhm.
walk.
Damn. So
You know what I'm
then,
saying?
so
It's
then,
it's
were
it's
people,
hard to
but
walk
were
away from some shit you
Eight,
love.
eight broken bones. Just eight broken bones.
but
I've at least lost maybe 2 pints of blood for this.
but Corey, But Corey, you don't take
It's
yourself
it, it
out, but
was
here's put yourself in. But I'm saying y'all keep saying take yourself out. Put yourself in, Corey. If you had a wife and you had children that were saying, Daddy, don't do it. You had a wife that was saying, Honey, I love you. I don't want you to do it. You were rich already, and everything was lined up for you not to do it. That wouldn't alter your feelings.
It
again.
can it can dude,
It's
again, you can be
it's a
crippled.
factor. It is. And don't get me wrong. It's a factor that at the end of the day, you're talking about something that is hardwired into someone over years. It's like,
Right.
yeah,
Where
I
they
love
don't.
my kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love my wife, but I love
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah.
That's why I
I
said the love
And
of the game.
and
it's
and it's
Go ahead,
exactly what he
TJ.
said. It's exactly what he said. That it's mental at this point. They don't give a shit about their personal health. You know what I'm saying? Their thing is leave it all on the field. If I can leave it on the
right.
field, I can die happy. I can die happy.
And
So
TJ, and I'm sorry. Go ahead.
they're
Go
not
ahead.
taking their personal health. No, I'm just saying they're not taking their personal health into consideration at all.
And think about something else I didn't think about. Just me blurting out my thoughts, my earlier thoughts. Imagine if you was only good at one thing in life. And
Oh yeah,
it being scary as hell. Like, okay, for me, you're asking me to walk away from this. I'm not good at anything else. What am I supposed to do now?
right,
Work at Walmart? You know what I'm
That
saying?
right.
Work at
part, bro.
McDonald's?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like
Like,
PTSD.
this
It's like
scary.
PTSD for a soldier in the field. He's more comfortable in the
Yeah.
field, all the shit going on around him, than he's at home trying to
Yo,
cope with everyday life. That's
yo,
that's
yo,
that's what it is for him.
What you're
the,
saying though,
the,
Tyrone, like they're valid thoughts, but what everybody else has been mentioning, yo, it's that real. Like if you've ever, like Corey said it, if you've ever dedicated yourself to the sport or something that you loved that seriously, it is very hard to walk away from. Yes, you would hope that the person has the adult logic to think all right, you know what? I got all of these things. Maybe I'm good. But even with that, you take what you have in the back that you know you possibly have forever for granted because this shit is so much ingrained in you. It's hard to detach. It
That's
really
why.
is.
That's why I
To O's
suggested
point to
he
say,
teach.
to O's point to say, yeah. But here's my thing too. For O's point to say, maybe you're not good at nothing else. Well, Tua has already used his talent to maximize his abilities to where he don't have to do nothing else. Tua can retire. He's got generational wealth now. He don't have to be good at shit. He can go home and twiddle his thumbs and don't
Again,
have to
no,
do
but
shit else, bro. You don't have
see,
to worry about what am I going to do. He don't have to. But
you're
like
not.
to Corey's point, if he loves football so much, he can stay involved in football. He can become an analyst. He can go. He can become an assistant coach or something. He can get into coaching. He can be around football. He can be a part of football. He can have football in his life. He just doesn't have to play it.
No, you're not wrong. You're
And not
not.
and the hardest part is not playing.
That's the hardest part.
That
Yes.
is that is the hardest part. That like
Removing yourself
ooh,
from the day-to-day routine of putting on the pads, getting out there, throwing the ball. You can throw the ball as a coach. Yes, you can do that, but it's not the same.
You
It's
know what? Put
truly
him on the
not the
scout
same.
team. Put him on the scout team and let him get like some live action and
And let
shit
him
like
get his head knocked off in practice?
that.
Yeah,
hmm.
because you're gonna have people out there that trying to make a name for themselves, like
Exactly.
Gambit. I'm gonna try to make a name for myself.
Oh my god,
I took out the $200
that's
million
funny.
man. Like, come on now.
That's funny. Dark but funny. I like that.
But all in all,
Well,
we done. A nigga like me, I'm hungry. I'm
So,
sorry. I was going off camera because I was taking bites of pizza, shit like that. This nigga's hungry.
yo, listen, I don't blame you. I'm about to get on the grill right now.
Big back.
Corey, thank you for coming through late.
I
But
appreciate it.
you know
Thank
what
you
to do
very
Yes,
right
much.
sir.
now.
Yes, sir.
uh, I want to first off, first and foremost, I want to thank you guys for allowing me to be in your space again. I truly appreciate it. I'm I'm Salty True Floyd from American Media. We have a podcast as well as a Geek Report. We're currently trying to get our scheduling down for our podcast. So please check us out at AmeriMedia.com. That's AMERIMEDIA. AMERIMEDIA.
Oh,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yo, Dan, I'm on your wave, man. You see, I already took the white tee off. I'm about to get on the grill right now. Yo, big shout out to the listeners. Big shout out to my homies on this podcast right now, starting 5. Looking forward to next week, man. I know it's gonna be a big show, man. Shout out to my boy Jamal, doing big things. Um, yeah, man. On to the next.
Yeah.
Charisma.
Yeah. So it's been a dope show. Shout out to Corey. Thank you for coming on, sir. Yeah, I love your insight and perspective on things. Um, Lisper, Dan, of course, I love you guys. Jamal out there making movies as usual and stuff like that. I'm glad to be back. I know I was away for 2 weeks. Sorry, traveling. I got a lot of vacation. I got to burn a lot of PTO. That's what it is. So if I'm going to burn PTO, I might as well go somewhere. So
All
that's what I'll be doing. So I'm here for like 2 more weeks. Then I'm out. Then I'm in. Then I'm out again. It's like taking 5 trips in 3 months. So just glad I can afford it.
right. All
Go
right.
to a convention.
That was
yeah,
my
shout out
job in New Orleans. I worked at convention, Corey.
Oh,
Shout out to Corey. Corey, it's always good to see you. Shout out to everybody here. Shout out to Jamal. I'm just glad that he getting back to business because I'm a movie guy. I do an entertainment podcast, so I'm glad to see the strike's over. I'm glad to see the movies and everything is getting back to business. And so I'm happy for all that. I'm happy to be here. And I'll see you guys next week.
And I'm not a movie podcast. We've never been a movie podcast, but we do talk about it when we feel like it. Shouts out to everybody, of course, as always. Shouts out to the sponsor, Hooks Rub, 20% off your order using that code starting5. Corey, shouts out to you, Marry Me. This time when you do a wrestling podcast, oh my bad, I forgot you. Yeah, you want the next one, nigga. You're supposed to think of the OG first, who, by the way, why I forgot to mention
Don't
before.
don't
Take this
worry, I
however
got
y'all
you.
want, people. But I am the Wrestle Talk Federation heavyweight champion right now because I took out in a debate. I took the homie Chris Dillsworth, aka Wildcard Chris, aka Heels for Life Chris. I took him out in a debate last night that went to the judges,
Yeah,
I
and I
did.
won
Yeah,
2-1.
I'm
yeah,
all fuck with
yeah,
Tatiana, but don't
yeah.
you about to make
Tyrone,
me
Yeah,
get
man.
back in the
see, but
ring.
Yeah, man.
the difference,
You about to make me
though,
get back in the
Tyrone, we got
ring.
to get our shit back up and running. All you do is talk shit. I give knowledge and talk
Oh,
shit.
here you go. Here you go. I'm
you,
not
So
a you
you,
too.
that's
in the debate. You definitely hit him with an RKO.
you were like the person I beat last night, self-proclaimed champion,
Don't
self-proclaimed.
worry.
Yeah.
He
But
saw me.
all love to them. Yeah, I don't know what to do with this invisible belt. As I said, I won Wrestle Talk Dungeons and Dragons last night. I won the
You know this
fantasy.
Yeah,
clip is gonna go
yeah.
straight
Starting
to
five, baby.
TikTok. You know.
Five. We repping on TikTok, on other people's TikToks. Love it.
All the time. All the time. But we're
Love it.
done.
Love
We
it.
out. Peace.
Sure.